Welcome to Human Darts Insider. This is Mr. Zelk, and today we talk with studio owner, keyboard player, and all-around nice guy, Jeff Knauff. I like to find out from musicians, because Jeff helped us produce our Explicit Thoughts CD, about how they get started in music and what trails they have taken during their life regarding music. Jeff, how did you get going?
Well, I've been playing music since I was 8 years old. I took the usual neighborhood piano lessons and got to where I was pretty good playing classical piano. Got into my first band in high school, the Shadows 3 1/2. It was called 3 1/2 because we had one of the kids was only 10 years old, and he was a little redheaded kid, played bass just like the one on the Partridge Family. So that was my first band, and then after I got married, my wife knew that I had been in bands, and she really wanted me to be in a band, and she goaded me until I joined a band. This is in my 20s, which I think she later came to regret, but I wound up being a professional musician, entertaining musician for about 10 years. Then I went into the automobile insurance business, and I spent 30 years working for an automobile insurance company. But all the while I was doing that, I still was involved in music. I did some duo work with a friend of mine for a while, and then I gradually started to assemble recording equipment in my house and do some recording. I'm a songwriter also, so I was just recording my own stuff. And as the years went by, I got more and more stuff, and pretty soon it was too much to fit in the house. And we moved to a home that had a 3-car garage, and part of it was made into an office. So that became my studio. And then I had to get more recording equipment to fill that up. Then we moved to the Tampa area. We moved into a house, and there was no place for me to put my equipment, so we put it in storage. And after almost a year, we said, well, what are we going to do with all this? So we decided to buy a small place and fix it up as a recording studio, and later on we could sell it or whatever. But so we bought this little place in Gibsonton, Florida. It was as I said, it was a parsonage for a church at one point. By the time I bought it, it was a crack house, and bought that and fixed it up, and just have been recording here now for about 5 years here at the parsonage. And I've also stayed involved. I've played in a band again for a while, and do some live sound and that sort of thing. But never really, once I got started in music, never really stopped.
You've played all these years. What turns you on to recording instead of live performance?
It's more creative. Performing live is fun, but it's not a super creative thing to do unless you're playing jazz or something like that. And I just got fascinated with the whole technique of recording, because there's so much more to it than just setting up a microphone and singing into it. And again, when I first started, I was mostly trying to record my own stuff. But what you find out after a while, you kind of have to choose, because you get so into the technical part of it that you're not writing songs anymore, and you're not really even interested in singing them anymore. You're more interested in capturing sounds and figuring out how you can capture sounds better, how you can make your recording sound like stuff that you hear on the radio, all that kind of thing. And it's just, I don't know, I just got more interested in it as the time went on, and I still am. I discover new stuff all the time.
So does everybody want to be the next Beyonce or megastar in the rock world?
You would kind of have this idea in your mind that everybody wants to come in and do a nicely crafted pop song of some sort. And that's not true. People have very different ideas about what they want their finished product to be. And I think that's one of the things that makes you more or less successful in doing this, is the ability to communicate with other artists, with other musicians, and help them translate what they have in their head to what the final product is, even if when you start out not quite understanding what they want.
From the recording studio now to live sound. Why?
I have been for quite a while now. I love music, and I love going out to hear live music, going to concerts and festivals and things like that. But I'm never satisfied with the way things sound. I've heard some people that I went to see Leon Russell, who is, just one of my heroes from way back, and he was at the Capitol Theater in Clearwater, which is a pretty big deal. And the sound mixer was so bad that I wanted to go over to the sound mixer and just shake him by the, like, does that sound good to you? This guy's a legend. What are you doing to him? And more I hear that, that things are mixed wrong. The kick drum is way too loud, and the guitars are shrill, and you can't hear the vocals. And I've just been my response to it mostly has been, I don't want to go to concerts anymore because I'm always disappointed. And I got involved with a little nonprofit organization here in Ruskin that has a center called the Firehouse Cultural Center, and they have live music there almost every week, but sometimes every other week. And I got involved with them, helping them mix sound there, and I got lots of good responses from the people who went to see the show about how good things sounded, and also realized that I really enjoyed it because I could listen to a live performance and it was under my control. I could make it sound the way I wanted it to sound, and other people were enjoying the way it sounded too. So I'm just kind of expanding on that, and trying to take that outside of just the nonprofit area into I know some folks that are in some outstanding tribute bands, a Billy Joel tribute band, and there's some other ones. And when they travel, they have to hire sound companies, and they are 90% of the time dissatisfied with the product that they get because they just have to take whatever they get. So one of the things that I'm hoping to do is work with them and kind of be their personal sound companies, and so they know what they're going to get.
Since we talked, Jeff has had some tough times with his health, but I'm happy to report he is back on the mend and getting back at it. Jeff, thanks for joining us today on Human Darts Insider.